Welcome to You Are Here, a series that explores the topics of self-discovery, mental wellness, and adulting. I'm your host, Crystal Luster, and we are recording in the beautiful downtown Chicago at the Exhibit House. If you're looking for a good gut laugh and a good soul hug, then you've come to the right place. In this series, you will hear life stories as they're being written, in hopes of letting you know that you aren't alone in this life journey, and we can figure it out together. You Are Here is brought to you by Uni. Start your story.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. What's up, y'all? Y'all know I wasn't gonna not say what's up, y'all, because that's what I do. But my name is Crystal Luster, and I am your favorite host of You Are Here. We are in the beautiful Exhibit House of Chicago Water Tower. I'm very, very excited about this episode because I have my very dear friend here with me, Dr. Aginah Muhammad. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. We've known each other for
almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years. It feels like a lifetime.
Yeah.
It feels like, sister friend from just forever. It's like partly that Virgo energy, partly just us being awesome because we're awesome. We actually met because I was hired to be her videographer for her book launch. She has her book out. That was that's crazy. That was almost 5 years ago. Wow. And we just clicked instantly. So I'm her photographer, and I always make sure that she is ready and fierce for the camera. And just an overall amazing person to have in life. And so I'm very excited to have you here. Why don't you tell the listeners and the viewers a little bit about you and what you do?
Okay, I don't like talking about
I know.
myself. Oh my goodness.
On the spot.
I know, right? So I am a mom of 3 amazing children. I'm gonna just put that out there.
They are amazing.
I have a set of twins who are 19, sophomores in college, and then my lovely 16-year-old mini me. I like to say I'm raising myself with that one. So 3 children, mom to 3, and I guess I start off with being a mom first because that's really important to me because it was a struggle for me to become a mother. So I'll say that first. Outside of that, I work in higher education. I'm the assistant vice provost for student success at the University of Illinois, Chicago, which happens to be my alma mater also. I am an author, author of Women Who Persevere, Navigating Motherhood with Power and Grace. And I'm also a podcast host. Light it up, lead, inspire, transform, and empower.
And she's a speaker.
I'm a speaker. I'm a daughter.
She's a daughter.
And I'm a sister and an aunt.
Yeah.
So I'm nobody's wife.
Oh, we're just putting that out there. You know what I'm saying? If you like what you see and you hear, I'm just saying. Put that out there. She's a 10. On this show, we talk a lot about just where we are in general. So we're still spooky season, guys. We are still, here at the exhibit house where the exhibit is, all things like October and Halloween-ish or whatever. And I wanted to take these last couple episodes and just talk about, sometimes where we are is a little scary. And so, Aginah and I were talking about just what scares us, right? So we look at where we are in life. You have this career that you've been building up for years. You have almost an empty nest, You're a little too excited. Hold on now, a little too excited. You have your students, your children that are doing exceptionally well in college, and you have your youngest is doing well in high school, and they have bright futures ahead of them. You have persevered through divorce and publishing your book and all of these different things. So here you are sitting in this place in life, and I want to ask, what is scary to you about this season that you're in?
Ooh, that's a really good question. And I'm not going to get emotional on your show here.
We always say that, but this is a safe space.
Yeah.
And if y'all don't know, because I share it sometimes, talk about it and I joke about it, but I'm a crybaby. I cry all the time. I'm an emotional crier. I'm one of those people, if you start tearing up, I'm gonna start tearing up. If you throw up, I'm gonna throw up. If you fart, I'm gonna just run because ew.
Okay, we're not gonna do that. Okay. No, but seriously, I think what scares me really is not being present for a long period of time to see my children and how they are kind of, develop and grow. Like I see it now, but that is probably my biggest fear because it's just been the four of us for 10 years. I've been their primary number one rock. And so I do fear that, if I'm not present, what would they do? I mean, of course, I have extended family, my mom, my brother, sister-in-law, but that is by far the greatest fear, that I won't be present for them. And truthfully, that something may happen to them and they not be present. So I don't like to put that energy out there, but that is something that I think about, considering what we see on the news and just having friends and family who have experienced that type of loss. That is something that does scare me. And then also growing old alone. That's a real thing. That's a fear. I'm 46 years old.
Where? 46 where?
But it's hard out here.
Sure. So I'm gonna address the first thing first, and we'll circle back to the growing old alone thing. So I don't know that I've mentioned it here yet. I did. I mentioned it in the first episode of You Are Here. But many of you know I lost my sister Karen to colon cancer about 7 years ago. We just celebrated the 7th anniversary. It's crazy that it's been 7 years already. And I got to see firsthand just how wild it is for parents to bury their children or their child. And unfortunately, that's happened 3 times in my family. So my dad and 2 of his brothers know what that feels like. They have all had to bury their children. And that's something that I would never wish on a parent. I can't imagine. And me losing my sister is crazy because she was like a second mom to me. She was 18 years older than I was. And just not having her presence, not having new memories with her, not having her as a sounding board with navigating some of the things that I've had to navigate. This year has been a whirlwind of so many different things, highs and lows, and to not have her as a sounding board is tough. And that is a scary thing. Death is real. It's a very real part of life. It's, in my opinion, the hardest part of life for the living. And, it is scary, right? And so what I like to offer, and feel free to chime in, ways that you cope. So if you are dealing with that, if that's a very real thing for you here in this season, how are you dealing with it? Well, y'all know I am going to be here for the dark humor. I'm going to be here for the laugh. So if you need to laugh, just watch some more videos on the page because you got it. But then also therapy. I'm going to always push therapy and having a community. We are not meant to do life alone. I firmly believe that. Aginah has definitely been a sounding board for me many times. I called you, like, oh my God, this is happening, I don't know what to do. And then she talks some sense to me, or just laugh with me, or cry with me, whatever, and we make it through. Because it is scary, but I think it becomes less scary when you're not by yourself.
Exactly. No, I absolutely agree with you. And I would also offer that, we know that death is inevitable, right? And my late father would always say, like, the only way to escape death is not to be born. And I think that actually helped me cope with losing my dad, who was, I think, young, for all intents and purposes. But then I also lost someone who was near and dear to me as far as a relationship is concerned. So those type of experiences in terms of losing someone that, eventually will pass on, I was able to cope and handle that. But in thinking about potentially not being here and not having my children, I'm starting to have real conversations and try to plan what I think that might look like to make sure that they're safe and they're okay. think that's very important. It's something that in our community sometimes we don't want to talk about it. And so estate planning, that's something that is very important.
Yeah.
And often we don't want to talk about or focus on the seriousness of that finality of life. But I think talking about it, therapy, absolutely. I'm a fan. I'm a client.
Shout out to my therapist, okay?
Yes. But being able to feel safe and to talk about your fears, I think, and showing that vulnerability is important.
Yeah.
So if you have someone who you feel safe, being able to talk to about these things, I think it's really important to do so.
Yeah, talking helps.
Yeah.
If you are not ready to talk yet, they also have things like rage rooms or journaling or, sitting by water. I love sitting by.
Yes.
It's very calming. Yoga I hear is helpful. You tried to give me yoga.
Oh my God. yoga. I am a huge fan of yoga.
I tried yoga once. I tried yogurt once too. That didn't work out as well. It was not good for the lactose intolerant. But I tried yoga once. My hips did this thing. She had me on the floor, was swinging I was like, you know what? I am not a pendulum.
You needed to stretch first.
Put me down. I am not a pendulum. You're not about to have me swinging to and fro, okay? I go all up and through, but I'm not going to and fro. So I tried again. But those are all great ways to try to deal with that so that it becomes less scary. But two are always better than one. And now circling back to the relationship thing. So as many of you know, I've kind of alluded to just kind of walking through divorce this past year has been very challenging, and there's more that I will unpack as time goes on about what I've learned about my community, about myself, about marriage and love and all those kind of things. But it is scary out here. Let me tell you something. It's cuffing season. Is that?
Yes,
are we entering cuffing season?
We are entering cuffing season.
And you know what I mean? I don't have no cuffs. You know what I'm saying? I barely got a watch.
You're trying to get cuffed.
Because the winter is cold. We in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, right? So can we talk about it?
Yes.
Let's talk about it. Okay.
Yes.
People have to say what they want to say about you should be mourning your divorce. And who's to say that I didn't mourn while I was married?
That part.
I'm just, we don't talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's get for real. I went through therapy through the whole time, contemplating and thinking about it and dealing with it. I processed it in my own way. And while I appreciate people and what they have to say, at the end of the day, my decisions are my decisions. So I'm just leave that at that. But dating is scary for a number of reasons. One, dating is scary because putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, that's scary in general. But you have the dating pool.
Oh my God.
I saw this meme the other day that said, which state do you think has the worst dating pool? And somebody responded. It was the United. The United States. Absolutely. Because where's the lie? Where is the lie?
Yeah. It's been hard.
Yeah.
It really has been. There are so many. First of all, I got married when I was 24.
Okay.
So my dating experience
is pretty expensive.
Yeah. And to jump back into dating, well, after my divorce, I did enter into a relationship. And it was great. I think I was lucky, I guess, as I compare what I've experienced in the last 3-4 years. Very lucky. And the men are different, women are different, so I'll take some ownership here, right?
Yeah.
I think communication is probably the biggest barrier to relationships in terms of how we date, what we're looking for, expectations. But in my experience, it has been a challenge because I have essentially been single for 10 years, right? And there are just certain things if I've had to do everything on my own, because I hear a lot of times men are saying that women are too masculine. We have that masculine energy. Here's the thing. If you don't put me in a situation where I have to exert masculine energy, then you're going to get all of this feminine goodness.
That part. Listen, I want to be soft.
Right.
I do not want to be masculine, okay?
No.
I don't want to have to think about doing masculine things. I think that was one of the issues that I had in my marriage. It was this, you know, you're so self-sufficient and you don't want anybody to help you. No, I do want help, but you have to put me in a position to trust that you will follow through and do what you say you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I want to be soft.
Yes.
I do not want to do man stuff. I do not want to compete with anybody and their man. And if you're secure in your masculinity, you won't feel like I'm trying. Because listen, I'm not gonna speak for all women, but I think you and I share the same sentiment. I have no desire to be a man.
None at all.
Not 1% of desire to be a man or to do what men do. I am traditional in that sense of wanting to, I'm good in my lane. I want to stay in my lane. But I need to feel safe to do that. And that, for me, is the scariest part of dating, of getting back out there and having these conversations. First of all, you know, Tia Murray has been talking about it a lot since she split with her husband, Corey Hardy. And I feel like, you know, one of the softer, like, I won't say soft, the funnier, comical part of it is having the same conversation over and over again. Hey, you know, so what do you like? What are you into? What do you do for a living? You get tired of that, right? But then you start, like, it always takes time to see if a person is really gonna be who they showed up to be at first. And I think I used to shy away from the people who were overly blunt in the beginning, but I appreciate them because thank you for not wasting my time. Next, you know what I'm saying? But I think the scary part, putting yourself out there, and like you said, the communication is so skewed now, where I've had people ask me if I was gonna be their sugar mama.
Oh my goodness.
Like right off the bat, so you gonna be my sugar mama? No. Absolutely not. Then I've had people, this one guy, y'all, I'm gonna have to share some of my DMs one day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it off memory because my phone is in use right now. But there was this one guy who sent me a DM. He was like, "What's up, girl? It's the forehead for me." Listen, I know my forehead is big, okay? Me and my forehead proudly wear this face, and we giving face card not declined. But the audacity. Somebody told me a dad joke, and people know that I'm a sucker for dad jokes. It was, you know, whatever, haha. And he was like, "So you want to come over?" No. Like, it's really scary.
It is.
Because it feels, I think what makes it scary is that it feels like there's no hope.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you what's scary for me. I'm just going to say the mixed messages that I get from men. For example, I think that men are more hung up on like my title or accomplishments than I am. It is not a big deal to me. I mean, yeah, it's great that I have a PhD. So it's like, oh, you're a doctor? What kind of doctor are you? It's academia, you know, it's not like.
And even if it was medical or whatever, still it's fine. It's a profession.
It's a profession, right? It does not define me. But then when they introduce me to people, this is Dr. Muhammad. So it's almost as if, let me show you what I've been able to pull, right? That's the way it comes across to me.
Yeah.
And then later on, in the course of dating or talking, getting to know each other, then it becomes either you think you're better. No, I don't. You've made this a thing.
Yeah.
Or you're too assertive, or I'm not one of your employees. Now that's what I've gotten a lot. And so I don't know how to take that. Or I'm questioned because I don't act like I need them enough. And no, I don't need you for money. I'm not going to ask you for money because then you all say that women
We just gold diggers.
Right, we're just gold diggers, or want to go out for a date. I can buy my own meal. So I really don't know what I should do. I don't know what I should be. Please tell me. I'm open.
So it's funny because in my profession as an entertainer and as a content creator and an actor, you know, people, I've been kind of groomed now to like not share off the bat what I do if people don't know me already, because it's come to the point now, you know, you start joining dating apps and people are like, oh, I saw you on YouTube, or oh, I saw you on Instagram. I'm like, crap. So, you know, that kind of thing, the anonymity is not really there anymore, and people have this assumption about me. Because, and I'm not gonna lie to you, there are people in my field that definitely are delulu. I'm a little delulu, but not that kind. I'm like the good delulu kind, you know, like I believe that I can eat a bag of chips and still be skinny, because I ate them on a weekend and I was standing up, and calories don't count on the weekend when you're standing. So like I'm that kind of delulu, but like I'm not the type that thinks I'm better than everybody because I got so many followers. Like that could go instantly. Like it's about the quality of my character and who I am as a person. And so, but I've had people like step to me with that type of mentality of, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm gonna be associated with you, so you should help me do da 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 da. And I'm like, I don't owe you anything, but respect. I will give you respect. But other than that, like I don't owe you help. I don't owe you anything. I have been kind of on the defensive when it comes to money as well, because I think people feel like they either have to compete with me, or, and I'm not saying that this is everybody. We are not making generalizations here. This is not everybody. But just some encounters that I've had where people feel intimidated by what I do. And I'm like, that's not the person that I am. What you see is what you get. You've known me for almost 5 years. Have I not been consistently the same person? I am who I am. Because, and because I know it can be gone so fast. Like I don't put value in money or things or celebrity. I put value in people and relationships. And I really mean that. Like when I tell y'all I love y'all, I mean that, because why not? Like life is short, you know? And so I feel like that's one thing that I've been kind of navigating is that same thing. People be intimidated by a title, and either they use it to their advantage or they abuse you with it. It's like, pick a struggle. Or just appreciate me for me. You know, we could do that. And then like the actual dates are interesting as well. You know.
Well, I do meet and greets.
Okay.
So we're gonna meet at Starbucks.
I'm all for that.
I'm not gonna put a whole lot of energy in a date that I have planned or you have planned. And I also my expectation is for the man to take the lead. Meaning, if you want to meet me, then
make a plan.
Yeah, make a plan. Oh, I don't want to plan because I am a planner. We're Virgos.
We are.
So we plan all the time.
Exactly. That is what irritates me. There was this guy that I was talking to, literally for months. We met in person one time because he asked me to drive over to his friend's house to say hello on my way home. I obliged. And then he ghosted me. Like 3 weeks later. Like he still was consistent and was like, I want to take you out. But he never would make a concrete plan. It would just be like, yeah, I'm gonna take you out. I'm gonna take you out. I'm gonna take you out. Okay, are you gonna kill me? Like, what does that mean? Right. You gonna take me out? Like maybe he meant something else, because on a date was not the thing that happened. And so like I don't know. But I don't want to plan that. Right. You pursued me. Okay. I expect for the least that you can do is say, hey, are you available on this date at this time? Let's meet up I'm cool with coffee. Yeah. You know, I'm cool with taking a walk. I went and took a walk, and it was fantastic. There was no question. We just walked into town. I love that. Yes. I closed all my rings. I felt good about myself for the day. Like, yes.
I had a date like that once. And I even drove out to Naperville. Listen, no, to take a walk.
And was it nice?
It was very nice.
It was nice.
Now, needless to say, I'm still single.
But the date was nice.
The date was nice. It was zero pressure. Yeah. We got a chance to know each other and figure out, like, is this something that you want to continue to pursue or not? Now, the other thing is when you get the good morning, beautiful text,
Y'all know y'all
every
love
single day.
Y'all know y'all love that Good Morning Beautiful.
But there's nothing else.
Nothing else. Nothing else. Listen, it'd be like Popeye's biscuits, just dry. You just, right there in the throat. You know what I'm saying? I will never understand that because I done got Good Morning Beautiful to death. Like, it just, right there. And then anything else after that, it's like, good morning, beautiful. Hey, good morning. Mm-hmm. How you doing today? I'm good. How are you? I'm good. Good morning, beautiful. I'll be like,
Well, I got to the point where I just asked this guy, and we had actually met in person.
Yeah.
Right? And I said to him, how many times? I said, I feel like it's Groundhog's Day every single day. I appreciate the good morning, but can we have a little bit more? And can we move beyond the text messaging?
Yeah.
Because I'm a communicator.
Yeah.
So I very much like to have verbal communication, not texting.
Now, what I will say is scary for me, because again, we still in this little thing, right? Okay. I get so much anxiety when my phone rings. Now, if I'm talking on the phone to you, that means I probably like you. Because if my phone rings, my blood pressure go up. It just because I just I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think maybe I'm afraid of the awkward silence, or like, you know, with text I can edit and re-edit, and you know how we are.
But you can't do that in the dating apps, though. Like,
no. Well, in dating apps, I can, you know, figure out what I want to say and all of that. Like before I press send, trust me, I've written this dissertation. And I've edited and I've you know, summarized, and I wrote a thesis and all of that. But like in person, and it's not so much me because I'm a very thoughtful speaker. I'm gonna think before I speak. That's one thing that I kept from my mama when I was little. But you know, it's just you get disappointed when there's not a flow. And I'm the type of person where I feel like I have to carry the conversation if the conversation needs to be carried. So I'm gonna feel obligated to carry the conversation if you don't have nothing to say. And then I feel bad now because you done fell in love and I'm like bored. And you're such a nice guy and you like me, but I'm bored. And I'm sorry, but I can't, you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So all of that is scary, right? And the thought of being alone, that's one thing that even I have had to sit with. You know, here I am, 33 and divorced, and just trying to, like, this is not where I thought my life would be. I thought I would be a mom by now. I thought that I would, you know, have a successful marriage, and I still believe in marriage. I still want to be married again one day. I still want to be a parent. You know, there is still a possibility that may not happen. I don't know. I don't think it will. I don't think I will be alone. But just kind of sitting with that has been very sobering. And it's like, well, what do I do now? And what do I do going forward? So I feel like for me, I have focused a lot on my career as a distraction, still therapy, because I'm going to call and cry to my therapist about, you know, how sad I am sometimes. And sometimes I be happy when I be sleeping in the middle of the bed, stretched out, and I have to share. But then also, like, just reminding myself that meaningful relationships is what makes life, you know, what makes life better. So I pour into my relationships with my friends and with my family, with my nieces and nephews. I live vicariously. I'm the best auntie ever. TT Chris love the kids, you know. What are some things that you're doing now?
So I am trying to discover myself and what I like.
That's always a fun place.
Because, you know, I'm almost an empty nester.
Yeah.
1.5 more years left.
Not the count.
So I want to be able to embrace, you know, if I am going to be alone, right? I want to be able to enjoy being alone with myself, right? Yeah. So just trying to figure out what are some of the things that I enjoy, because I have, like you, poured myself into my work and into my children. So I really want to be able to discover, like, who's Aginah and what does Aginah like on this other side? Because now that I'm middle-aged, I think.
You know, so we had a whole conversation about that on a previous episode with a friend of mine who said that he was dealing with a midlife crisis. He's 36.
Oh my goodness.
But he brought up a good point.
Okay.
We say midlife crisis or like over the hill at 50, but the average life expectancy is not 100.
Yeah.
So technically, you know, mid-30s is kind of that middle point from an average perspective.
So then that means I'm I'm old?
No, it doesn't mean you're old. I'm just saying that if you feel that middle age is appropriate, it's not uncommon to
Okay. Because, I don't know. My kids say I'm old.
You're seasoned.
I am very seasoned.
And you don't look.
And I'm embracing my gray.
Listen, I love the gray. Okay, a silver fox. Let me tell you something. I probably got gray on the inside. I'm graying on it. Because I'm old. Y'all know I'm an old soul. But my hair, for whatever reason, is just what it is.
But no, I think taking time to and spend time with friends and just, enjoying life is something that I've really been intentional about.
Mm-hmm.
I travel. I do not mind getting on a plane, going someplace by myself and just relax. I love it.
You know what? I took my first solo trip a couple years ago. I'm gonna tell you, it was the best.
Yes.
Solo travel is fantastic. Okay, you don't have to deal with, well, I don't want to go there and I don't want to do that. So, girl, do what you want to do. I'm by myself. I'm doing what I feel like doing.
Right. And
have conversations with myself. Chrissy, you feel like taking a nap? You know what? I'm a little tired. Okay, let's go to bed. Chrissy, you want some brunch? Actually, I'm a little hungry. Let's go eat, then go back to bed. You know what I'm saying? It's wonderful.
Right. So,
I love that.
It's not all totally bad being alone, but it's important to just embrace who you are.
Yeah.
So that when that time comes, so I'm preparing myself for that person, my better half.
If the person is watching, preparation, you know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. So what we have learned here today is that, yes, being a parent and grief is scary. Yes, the potential of being alone is scary. However, being prepared in both areas can help with being scared. So having those conversations about family planning, about estate planning, about your will, putting things in order, taking good care of yourself health-wise so that you take care and your children are safe and all those type of things, help it be less scary. And then having community too. And then from a dating aspect, just enjoying yourself, discovering who you are, spending time pouring into relationships with friends and family and traveling and figuring out what you like. It can make it a little less scary because you, as my mom would say, take what you got, make what you can. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. Tell the people where they can reach you and get involved with what you're doing with Light It Up and the book and all that stuff.
I'm on social media, Dr. Aginah Muhammad. And my website is aginahmuhammad.com or lightituppodcast.com. So you can follow me on social media using those handles as well.
All right. Well, as always, I love y'all. I hope that you laughed today, that you have something fantastic happen today. Drop in the comments something good that happened. And I will talk to you soon.
Peace.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe and connect so that we can keep doing life together. Have a good one.